Hey everyone, welcome to It Tastes Different Gaming Appetizers. And I want you to sit back and relax because this is going to be a long one to explain all of what's going on here. So we're going to talk about Bayonetta 3, right? You may have heard some ramblings and some rumblings about it, but I'm going to try to go quickly over everything so we get the idea of what all happened with this. So basically, the former Bayonetta voice actor, Helena Taylor, released on Twitter a thread of videos explaining why she didn't return for the third game, saying that she was only offered $4,000 to perform for the game. She does the voiceover for Bayonetta, $4,000. So she basically went on Twitter, had a slew of videos talking about it, and pretty much was saying that for gamers to, to boycott buying the game, right? Is kind of what she came out to do. And then, so now we have Jennifer Hale, who is going to be voice acting for Bayonetta. We may be familiar with her. She did the female Commander Shepard, as an example. So, basically, Jennifer Hale didn't really say much about, her, what she was offered or anything like that, but just kind of, came out with some easy speak, just basically anything to smooth things over, just to kind of put herself in a neutral position, which I understand. And so, that was pretty much what happened there. We all learned, the whole internet learned that she was paid $4,000. And, if you saw the internet buzz around that time, everyone was going, platinum, what the hell, $4,000. Well, then we come further down, and basically a Bloomberg had looked into it, and they determined that the studio had offered her $3,000 to $4,000 per session to voice the character, with plans to have at least 5 sessions consisting of 4 hours of voice recording. One of the Video Game Chronicles sources told the publication this offer, which would have totaled around $15,000, was a significant increase compared to what she received for Bayonetta 2. So this is a lot higher than what she would have gotten for Bayonetta, that she was paid for Bayonetta 2. Right, in Bayonetta 1, and it's basically gone up. So, because even with Bayonetta 2, they paid her more than they did with Bayonetta 1, and so on and so forth. So in response to this, Taylor reportedly requested a 6-figure payment and residuals on the game. Platinum declined this counteroffer, and after the two parties couldn't come to agreement, began holding auctions for a new voice actor. And again, Jennifer Hale was given the role. Bloomberg also reports that Platinum later offered Taylor a cameo in the game with payment for 1 session, but she turned that down. Taylor told Bloomberg in an email that this recounting of events was an absolute lie and that Platinum was trying to save their ass and the game. So, yeah, it's a whole thing going on, and it's basically like, who do you believe, right? That's pretty much what it comes down to. The last thing that's come out for it is Platinum Games has come out, and they pretty much had a message saying that they appreciate everybody's contribution, because apparently after all this came out, the sales for Bayonetta 3 skyrocketed. Which is crazy, right? After people learned the Bloomberg report and everything like that, it skyrocketed. But Platinum Games again came out and gave a statement pretty much being neutral, right? Trying to be neutral, not stir the pot. So, it is what it is. But yeah, this was a whole roller coaster of every day was new updates about this whole thing going on. So it's a crazy roller coaster of series of events happening with Bayonetta 3 and the voice actress that's playing her, or that was going to be playing her. So, let's go around and see what everybody thinks. Who do you believe? What do you think? What's your thought process on this? Pat, what do you think about all this?
It's a big game of he said, she said at this point, right? Because we're never going to be allowed to get any of this information because there's NDAs all around. And, and Jennifer Hale's just trying to do her thing and she's getting roped around and people are harassing her. Come on. Why would you harass Jennifer Hale if all she did was pick up a part, right? I mean, that makes no sense to me, all the hate towards her, because she picked a part. How would she supposed to know what happened and transpired between the original voice actress and Platinum? I mean, she may be able to ask, but they'd probably say, NDA, I can't really tell you what was discussed, or, they don't want to tip their hat at what they offered her if it wasn't as much, or maybe she got offered more. I mean, who knows what's going on there? We don't know. I doubt they offered her more than they would have offered the original, because that to me just says that's pretty standard, right? We want the original to come around. I am not as big into the voice acting requirement as like Shane is, for example. Shane can a voice acting game can kind of make or break it for Shane. To me, it has an immersion effect, but if a gameplay makes the game for me, and the visuals make the game for me more than voice acting does, so I can look the other way if they change the voice actors, because I mean, we all grew up in the 80s and 90s over here. They changed characters in television shows right in front of your face without telling you why, and you're like, I don't think that was the actor in the previous season, and then they just expect you to accept it. So, it is what it is. People don't want to keep going.
Mr. Brady,
right? They don't want that. So in my opinion, I don't know what transpired and I don't know who to believe. So it's a really tough call for me. I don't know what investigation Bloomberg did or what type of inside sources they have. I don't know if they read emails between them or what they got access to, and we'll never know for the most part. So it's hard to say. People are greedy. For all I know, she could have asked for 6 figures and they laughed her ass all the way out in the street, which, yeah, of course, right? Give me 6 figures for, 4 or 5 4-hour sessions. I take 6 figures and I want royalties in the down the road. That's, voices in video games are cool. I recognize a lot of people, but it's not the same as watching an actor on TV, in my opinion. I mean, it's a lot harder to cover that up when that actor on TV is no longer the same guy or girl that you saw before. Whereas voice acting, it could kind of somewhat be swept under, right? You can do a lot of things with voices, that you will bear. If you're not an avid follower of the franchise, like me, not an avid follower of Bayonetta is a difficult, it's a good game and stuff, but I'm not going to be able to pick the difference out between the voice actor in 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to play the game. I like the game, but I'm not going to be able to pick out if they change the voice actor. I will tell you, my beloved game franchise, Mass Effect, they could probably change a couple of characters that are pretty key in the game, and I wouldn't have picked it out. That's just me. Now, if they change Shepard and stuff like that, or the Elusive Man or something like that, yeah, I'd pick that out. But it's not going to kill the game for me. I'm going to be like, whatever. The gameplay more than overcompensates for that, in my opinion. And Bayonetta may be the same for some people, but just because she's not voicing this game, it would not prevent me from buying it or not buying it. Now, if they really did try to basically pay her less than what they paid her for the first and the second one, that's kind of crappy, and I probably would help her out, but I have no way of knowing if that's true or not. So I can't base my feelings or opinions on this without knowing those details. So I have to base it on, is this enough for me? Is there enough of a chance that this is real or not for me to go, I want to support her or I want to support Platinum? Do I want to support the Bayonetta team or do I want to support her and not buy the game? And I'm I am actually leaning more towards believing the Platinum team than her at this point because of all the news and stuff that's come out. But that's me. What about you, Shane? Mr. Voice Actor connoisseur himself, snob, whatever word you want to use.
I agree that it is hard to look at this back and forth and say, yeah, they're a liar, they're right, they're right. It's too much. Now, I don't that her name doesn't ring any bells with me. None whatsoever. Jennifer Hale, her name rings every bell. I mean, she's one of the top voice actors, female voice actors out there. I mean, she's in games and anime, regular cartoons, all that stuff. I mean, she's been around for a long time. She did, I think it was Meryl in the original Metal Gear Solid. Then she did a couple others in 2 and 3. It's, plus Mass Effect and everything else. I mean, she's huge. So I imagine she's going to get paid a lot more than this Taylor person. Because she's probably not getting that 6-figure and the royalties, but I bet she's definitely getting paid more because they probably just didn't want her back. Maybe like, okay, we want to do something new. I mean, look what they did to David Hayter. I mean, he was Metal Gear. He was Solid Snake. He was Metal Gear Solid. His voice is iconic. Nobody wanted Kiefer Sutherland, but they did it. They tried something new, and it sucked, and it was a suck game. Voice acting it didn't used to be. When Final Fantasy X came out, that was like the first fully voice acted Final Fantasy game. And they really touted that. Now, if you were to remaster that game and you put in actual voice actors that didn't suck ass like the original group did, like the guy who played Titus, it was just a terrible voice actor. But if you were to remaster that and change those voice actors, I would know it in a heartbeat. Even if they're great at it, it's like, no, it's not the same. Some people are that deep into it. Me, I hated when they changed out David Hayter. It's not the same. Claire from Resident Evil 2, the remake, is not the same voice actor. I don't remember if Leon was. I believe it was, but I can't remember. Voice acting is for me, is a big thing because it really tells a story. And the way this whole story is playing out, it really is hard to tell. I mean, $4,000 to $15,000 to 6 figures to royalties for what would have been 20 hours worth of work, basically, if it was 5 shifts at 4 hours a pop. That's a lot of damn money. I'll do it for half. Why not? I would almost lean towards a developer. I would have at first, but the more and more that came out, it really does lean more towards a developer in my eye. But I wouldn't also want to say that for sure because God knows what's happened. I mean, she probably walked in there, flipped her hair back, and said, I want money. And they flipped their head back and said, get on out. Or it happened the opposite way. She walked in there, ready to go. And they're like, yeah, we're going to lower your fee on this one. And you got to work Saturday. And, that just wasn't working for her. So, it's a he said, she said, like was pointed out. And it sucks because Jennifer Hale is good, but for somebody like me, now I'm not a big Bayonetta fan. I've played them. I don't really love them. I don't hate them at all. They're enjoyable, but I don't think I would know the damn difference if she was gone or not. So, but that's me. Well, I think you're a bigger fan than any of us.
I was just going to ask you, Shane, if they change a voice actor in a game, is that going to make you not buy the game? That's my question.
Absolutely not. Unless it's
if there was no controversy.
They're using Bob's cousin instead of a real voice actor. If they're trying to save money, that would ruin it for me. Because like I said, you know me, you're a graphic whore, I'm a voice whore. I just hate bad voice acting because there's some great games with terrible voice acting that make it hard to play through. But no, it would typically 99% of the time would never cause me to not purchase a game. I'm going to play Bayonetta 3, and I'm not going to sit there and go, oh God, Jennifer, you suck. It's, voice acting isn't that important in that game, really.
Yeah. As far as like who to believe, I don't know. It's hard to say, just like Pat said, it's a he said, she said type of thing. But, as far as the Bayonetta voice actors goes, I wouldn't know if they changed it out. Like I've played through Bayonetta's, but I don't pay enough attention to the voice acting on that game that I would know who, if they didn't say anything at all, we didn't learn anything, and then they changed the voice actors, I wouldn't have realized it. Right. I don't think Jennifer Hale's getting paid more. She's probably getting paid the same because they did do a voice auction, right? So they went out to look for people to come in for it. So they probably already had a price. They had an amount already picked out and everything like that. And she just went in and got the job, right? They didn't seek her out.
That's what they say. Maybe they're full of crap.
But I mean, why would they want to chance making controversy, right? By upsetting fans of the series by pulling in someone different than has voiced all the Bayonetta stuff throughout time. I'm not talking just Bayonetta 1 and 2. I'm talking about Smash Brother. I'm talking about everything that has the Bayonetta character in there. I think she has done all the voices for it. So why really disrupt that if you're going to want to pay somebody more? I mean, does Jennifer Hale really have her own fan base that people are going to come to a game they never played just because of her?
Ask Hideo Kojima. He did the same thing with Metal Gear Solid 5. Completely pissed off everybody. Now, granted, I'm betting it was more.
But that's all hearsay. The pay.
Hearsay.
Nobody validated the pay disparity between them.
That pay. Yes. No, that's true. But Kiefer Sutherland got paid a hell of a lot more than David Hayter did.
But do you know that for sure? You don't. That's the whole thing. Maybe David Hayter came in.
I would bet anything on that.
Maybe he came in and did the same thing. I want 6 figures because I am him. I am him. I am that person. And they're like, we can replace you for less. We don't know that. And that's what I'm saying. Because there's NDAs that prevent everybody from talking about their pay.
That is true.
So my opinion, it's hard to say. He say, she said is what it is.
Yeah. But I think they probably may, if that is a situation, they probably didn't even think it would turn out like this. They'd be like, well, shit, I lost a job. I don't know their mentality of it. I do know that I hope this lady goes on, gets more work, and Jennifer Hale will do a fine job because I've loved everything she's done, of the type of games that I love, Mass Effect and Metal Gear, and, countless others. She also did, she was in the Avengers games, which we won't bring up, but, she did that one. So it's a suck situation all around.
Yeah. I mean, with Metal Gear, that was Big Boss, so it wasn't Solid Snake.
Well, no, she wasn't Big Boss.
I know she wasn't, but you were talking about Kiefer Sutherland. Snake. Yeah, I know. You're talking about Kiefer Sutherland, but he played Big Boss, which is not Solid Snake, who David Hayter played. So,
but David
it was
Hayter
a different character.
But he played Big Boss in
3.
He did the voice in 3.
Of Solid Snake, or that one was about Snake Big Boss.
I'm pretty sure that's right. I have to dig back in
because I thought it was a different character, right? And that's why they picked a different voice actor for it. But anyway, going back to Bayonetta, I mean, something like that wouldn't, and it's kind of, I don't know. I mean, I get Helena Taylor's, I get what she's saying, but I mean, like to tell people, I don't know. I mean, what is it to tell people to boycott the game, right? I mean, you could come out and say like, hey, this is what happened, and let people make their own conclusion from it. And if they want to boycott, they can, but they go out and say, hey, this is what happened and you should boycott the game. It's like, why punish? You felt like you were punished or done wrong. So why should you punish the players out there by saying that they should boycott the game as well? Right.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't like that as, just saying like, if you don't like it, doesn't mean that everyone else should not like it. Right. Or whatever the case may be, because we really don't know. Right. You say this, but we don't know that that's true. There should be some digging done, and there was by Bloomberg, and it found the opposite to be true. So now we're kind of in a hard between a hard place here, because we don't know who is telling the truth. Right. So
I say we hook her up to a machine, and if it's a lie, it electrocutes her.
Well,
cool, Shane. You get her to agree to that, and we'll live televise it.
Sweet. Pay-per-view.
Pay per shock.
If you believe her, press 1 on now.
yeah,
We're
it's
gonna,
like
we're gonna America Home Funniest Videos that if you believe she lied, press 1 now. If you believe Platinum Games lied, press 2 now. Audience,
Yep.
we're polling now.
Yeah, that would be
Yep.
great.
And if Platinum 2 ends up if Platinum ends up being the liars, that Babylon's Fall is the only game that they get to keep it going. They have to support for the rest of their lives.
Okay, man, shock is one thing, but you're talking about plain torture.
That's just punishment. That is just pure punishment. All right. Well, you guys got anything else we want to say about this?
Nope.
No. Yeah, it's definitely a roller coaster of all sorts of different information and who's to believe what, right? We don't really know, and we don't know what, and we'll, like Pat said, we'll never know. So, you take that with what you will. If you want to boycott the game, go for it. I already have mine pre-ordered. I pre-ordered mine a long time ago, and I want to play it. So it sucks for, if that really happened to Helena Taylor, it sucks that happened, but I wasn't putting in for the voice acting for it, so I'm okay. I know it's selfish of me, but it's selfish of me, but that's the way I look at it. So anyway, let us know down in the comments below what you think. Who do you believe? What do you think about the whole situation? Let us know down in the comments below. And are you picking up Bayonetta 3? Let us know about that. Are you excited to play the new Bayonetta? Other than that, make sure to like the video, make sure to subscribe if you're not already, and hit the bell notification to stay up to date with new videos that we do all the time. We'll see you next time.
See ya.